Do you really think it's that easy to steal my identity? I was doing laundry by the river when a line of text, like an online comment, suddenly flashed before my eyes. The supporting female lead's Destiny Jade pendant is about to fall into the hands of the male lead, who will give it to the female lead, kickstarting the tragic noble-daughter swap drama. Before I could process it, Heiress rushed over. "Anna, where is the jade pendant necklace you always wear?" Ethan's anxious eyes made me panic. I didn't know what to do and subconsciously glanced at the floating text. The supporting female lead is about to hand the jade pendant over to the male lead. Poor thing, she has no idea it's her family's proof of identity. Her biological parents are the richest oil magnates in Cloud City. After getting the jade pendant, the male lead will immediately cater to the female lead. 3 days later, when the magnates arrive to claim their daughter, they will take the female lead back to Cloud City and cherish her like a real princess. The supporting female lead can only wither away in this poor village. By the time her family finds her after she turns 30, it will be too late. The beautiful young woman will have faded, while the female lead, with her wealthy parents, will naturally become a powerful CEO in the business world. Reading those lines, my face went pale. Ethan frowned, his voice stern. "I'm asking you, where is the jade pendant?" "It's lost," I blurted out. Ethan seemed disbelieving. He reached out, tugged at my shirt, and flipped up my collar. The area around my neck, usually adorned with a pendant, was bare. He stared at me, his eyes full of suspicion. I tried to calm myself and explain, "I bent down to wash the clothes just now, and somehow, the necklace snapped. The jade pendant was swept away by the current. I was about to go after it when you arrived." Then I began to sound anxious. "Ethan, you're a good swimmer. Please, help me find the jade pendant. I'm about to cry." Seeing my distress, Ethan's expression softened slightly. He gently coaxed me. "The water runs too fast in the summer. I can't catch up. Just consider it bad luck. Hurry and finish your laundry, then go home and cook dinner." With that, he quickly left. I remained shaken by the scrolling text, unable to calm down. Since I was very little, I knew I was an abandoned child. Fortunately, a relative, Aunt Mary Heiress, took pity on me and adopted me. Growing up in this Red Creek village, how could I possibly be the daughter of the richest family in Cloud City? I thought I was dreaming, my mind wandering on the walk home. But just as I stepped into the house, I heard Aunt Mary and Ethan's voices. "Ethan, do you think that rich family will believe Sally is their daughter?" "Don't worry, Mom. That woman only left a jade pendant and a small amount of money when she gave the baby to you. And Anna lost the jade pendant. As long as you confirm that Sally is the baby from back then, who will suspect anything?" Aunt Mary's voice still held a hint of worry, but I feel guilty toward Anna. Ethan immediately spoke loudly. "Mom, don't say those things. Sally has been beautiful since childhood. Only she deserves to be the rich family's daughter. As for Anna, I'll marry her later. Consider it compensation for her whole life, okay?" How can the male lead be so confident? Disgusting. Is that person stupid? The male lead said he'd marry the supporting female lead. What more do you want? The male lead will only marry the supporting female lead for formality. Then, follow the female lead back to Cloud City. And ultimately use the rich family's resources to advance, leaving the supporting female lead in the village to raise his mother. Is that fair? Did you even read the story? The male lead and female lead return the identity to the supporting female lead later on. Stunned, I rushed to the back of the house. Now, I realized those words were all true. After a long time, Ethan's voice called from the front of the house. "Anna Heiress, why are you hiding and being lazy instead of cooking dinner?" Then came Aunt Mary's voice. "Anna did the laundry for the whole family. Let me cook tonight." During dinner, Ethan put down his chopsticks and spoke up. "Sally's biological parents are coming to pick her up soon. The next few days are the last time our family will be together. Everyone must treat Sally well." Sally Heiress's eyes reddened. "Ethan, honestly, I never thought I was the daughter of a rich family. But I hope you all believe that whether rich or poor, you two will always be the most beloved and important people to me. See? Our female lead has no idea she's stealing the supporting female lead's identity. The male lead is clearly lying to her. Please stop criticizing the female lead. I silently lowered my head and picked at my food. Ethan looked at Sally with eyes full of pity. Sally, you'll always be the little princess of the Heiress family. You've suffered so much over the years. You're clearly the daughter of a rich family, yet you had to live miserably with us. Here, have the egg. He tried to use his chopsticks to pick up the egg for Sally, but the bowl only contained oil residue. The last egg had already been quickly eaten by me. Anna Heiress, are you a perpetual starving ghost? Ethan gritted his teeth, glaring at me. I ignored him, looking up at Aunt Mary. Aunt, there are clearly 4 people, so why do you always only make 3 eggs? Aunt Mary looked embarrassed and turned her face away. I don't like eggs. I chuckled softly. You say you don't like eggs, but for over 10 years, the person who has never been allowed to eat an egg is me. Ethan was about to say more, but Sally gently interrupted him. Ethan, don't be so harsh on Anna. Then she opened her innocent eyes and looked at me. Anna, you feel resentful and upset because you know I'm the daughter of a rich family, right? I looked up and smiled coldly. That's right. So what? Are you planning to give it back to me? Sally froze. She hadn't expected the usually silent me to dare to talk back. Immediately, she burst into tears. Anna, how could you say that? I can give you anything you want, but my parents are the ones who gave birth to me. For all these years, I've longed to be reunited with my birth parents. Why do you want to steal my parents? Sally was always like this, always playing weak to gain everyone's sympathy. I remembered when she was 5, when she was first brought into the Heiress family. Before she came, I was still allowed to eat eggs. Ethan also often pinched my cheeks and said he would always protect me. But now, his eyes only held fury for me. Anna Heiress, don't you dare get ahead of yourself. You're just a lowly, abandoned child. Don't you know your place? You still want to steal Sally's position? What a pipe dream. I nodded repeatedly in agreement. Yes, I'm a lowly, abandoned child, and the rich young lady is a blessed fairy descended to the mortal world. Satisfied now? With that, I slammed my bowl down and walked straight into my room. Ethan still wanted to call me back to wash the dishes, but Aunt Mary stopped him. He kept muttering curses. Mom, after I marry her, you can't pamper her anymore. Our family raised her for so many years. She owes us a lifetime debt. I owe the Heiress family. Before knowing the truth, I also believed this. For all those years, I not only took care of the cooking for the whole family, but also worked tirelessly in the fields and went to the mountains to chop firewood. Everyone in the village said I was an abandoned child, and if the Heiress family hadn't saved me, I would have starved to death long ago. I used to think I would work like a horse for the rest of my life to repay the Heiress family's kindness in raising me. But the truth was different. Years ago, my mother brought money to Aunt Mary and asked her to look after me. She accepted the money and promised to do so. Every month, Aunt Mary went to the town to withdraw money, but she claimed it was money sent by Sally's family. The entire Heiress family lived off that money. She also forced me to be obedient and tolerate Sally above others. Therefore, even though we lived under the same roof, my and Sally's fates were worlds apart. She and Ethan wore new clothes and went to school, while I became a servant, washing, cooking, and working in the fields day and night without rest. Now, they were even trying to seize the identity that originally belonged to me. Just thinking about being buried forever in this poor village sent a chill down my spine. I reached under my pillow and pulled out my jade pendant. Under the moonlight, it was bright, round, and extraordinarily beautiful. The jade pendant almost slipped from my hand that day, but I quickly caught it and hid it under a rock by the river. That's why Ethan couldn't find it. Immediately, the scrolling text appeared before my eyes. Unexpectedly, the supporting female lead didn't lose the jade pendant. Is she planning to use this item to be recognized by the rich family? What a vicious supporting female lead, clearly trying to steal the female lead's golden ticket. Without this jade pendant, how can the female lead become the noble daughter? How can she become a powerful CEO in the business world? Readers who still side with the female lead are hypocrites. This jade pendant clearly belongs to the supporting female lead. Why should she give it to the female lead? Don't worry, even if the supporting female lead has the jade pendant. The male lead won't let her be recognized successfully. I clenched the jade pendant in my hand, my eyes full of determination. I wouldn't become a supporting female lead who sacrifices unconditionally, nor would I foolishly fall into Ethan's trap. I just wanted to reclaim the life that was originally mine. The next morning, I didn't do my usual chores like waking up early to feed the chickens and pigs. At breakfast, Aunt Mary looked obviously displeased. "Anna, it's not good for a girl to be lazy and not wake up early. My back hurts a lot these days. Try to get up early to help me with the housework." Since I began to understand things, she seemed to complain about back pain every day, never getting better year-round. In contrast, Ethan's tone seemed gentler. "Anna, I know you're jealous of Sally's identity, which is why you're acting this way toward us. But everyone has a different fate. Sally was born rich, while you're just an abandoned child." Perhaps feeling his words were too harsh, he quickly added, "I don't mean to look down on you. Don't worry, I won't mind your background. After we get married, I will definitely treat you well." When Ethan mentioned marriage, the most emotional person wasn't me, but Sally. "Ethan, you want to marry Anna? If you marry Anna, what about me?" Sally tried to hold back tears, her weak appearance garnering sympathy. She burst into tears and ran off. Ethan quickly chased after her. Aunt Mary grabbed my hand and sighed. "Anna, look at Ethan. It's not easy for him. He and Sally could be together, but because of you, he has to give up Sally. Don't be stubborn anymore. Girls should be obedient and listen." I didn't answer, focusing only on the scrolling text before my eyes. Hearing that the person she loves is about to marry another woman, the female lead bursts into tears, her tears falling like pear blossoms after the rain. Despicable. This female lead wants everything. Don't be mean to the supporting female lead. The male lead and female lead were deeply in love first. It's the supporting female lead who butted in and ruined things. In love? Who cares? But what about stealing the supporting female lead's identity? How do you solve that? After eating, I planned to walk around to aid digestion. Unexpectedly, I ran into Ethan and Sally. Just as the comments said, Sally was crying miserably, looking exactly like a pear blossom soaked in rain. "Ethan, if I have to lose you just to become the daughter of a rich family, I'm willing to stay in this village forever to be with you." Ethan hugged her tightly as if wanting to crush her body against his. "Sally, don't talk nonsense. You're a noble lady, a branch of jade. I'm the one who's not worthy of you. No, Ethan, don't marry Anna. Listen to me. When you go to Cloud City, you can wear beautiful dresses, learn piano, learn ballet, and fulfill all the dreams you have always cherished. Can you forget about me? Ethan, promise me that even if you marry, your heart will forever belong to me." I felt so disgusted that I immediately crossed to the other side of the road. "Don't worry, you two will definitely be entangled endlessly." Not long after, the two returned hand in hand. Sally was comforted by Ethan and wore a bright smile. Suddenly, she approached me. "Anna, Ethan is taking me to town tomorrow to buy some clothes. You should buy some too." I didn't want to see them and was about to refuse when the comments appeared again. Those people said the female lead is evil. Open your eyes and look closely. Only the female lead treats the supporting female lead genuinely. Later, the supporting female lead becomes evil because of her own nature. Don't blame others. This is hilarious. She said she was going shopping with the supporting female lead. In the end, everyone criticized the supporting female lead's choices as ugly, and she didn't buy anything. Who is to blame? Doesn't she know what she looks like? Does she think she's like the female lead, who looks beautiful in everything? Reading those lines, I smiled to myself. Fine, I also need to buy some new clothes. In the late afternoon, I planned to count the money I had saved up, but when I opened the box, it was empty. I tried hard to recall. Only Sally had been in my room today. I immediately walked out, held out my hand to her, and demanded the money back, but she firmly denied it. Ethan also chimed in, "Anna Heiress, why would Sally take your money? Must have spent it all and are now falsely accusing her." In the comments, no one believed the female lead would steal money. Is the supporting female lead crazy? Her money is missing, but on what grounds is she slandering the female lead? I didn't want to waste words arguing and directly reached out to grab Sally's pants pocket. Sure enough, I pulled out several crumpled bills. "Sally Heiress, are you still denying it? Then what is this?" Without waiting for her to justify herself, I stated flatly, "All my bills are marked with charcoal." "How long are you going to keep lying?" Sally stammered, unable to utter a word. Ethan frowned, then sternly scolded me. "Sally is leaving soon." "So what if she spent a little of your money? Weren't you raised with the money Sally's parents sent? I'll pay you back whatever is missing, all right? If he wants to be a hero, I'll indulge him." $1,000. "Hand it over." Ethan's eyes widened in surprise. "How could it be that much?" Sally hurriedly interjected. "She's lying. I only took $200. I deliberately glanced at the marked comments, which now only showed a few silent black dots. I smiled coldly. "Don't want to pay? Fine. Wait until your rich parents arrive, and I'll make a scene and have them pay for you." Upon hearing this, both their faces instantly darkened. In the end, Aunt Mary rummaged through her chest and scraped together the full $1,000 to pay me back. Before handing over the money, Ethan looked annoyed. "Mom, after giving her this money, we have almost nothing left. That girl is clearly lying. Why do you believe her?" Aunt Mary sighed. "What can I do? Just comfort her for now. Don't let her interfere with Sally's reunion." Then she looked at Ethan meaningfully. "Anna has always listened to you. After Sally's reunion is settled, you can coax the money back from her." The next morning, before dawn, we boarded the ugliest old bus to go to town. During the entire journey, Sally deliberately acted close to Aunt Mary and Ethan, trying to exclude me. She talked incessantly, constantly fantasizing about her life in Cloud City. While talking, she intentionally raised her eyebrows and glanced at me provocatively. Ethan looked at her with doting eyes. When choosing clothes, I ignored the looks of the three of them and directly picked out a few outfits for myself. Ethan's expression immediately became unpleasant. "Anna, we came here to buy clothes for Sally. You're being excessive. Why buy so many things?" I looked up, my eyes welling up. "Ethan, I really like these dresses. Sally is going to a rich family later. She won't be able to wear all the beautiful clothes. I'm about to marry you, and I don't even have one decent outfit. I just don't want you to lose face." A hint of guilt flashed in Ethan's eyes, but it quickly disappeared. He couldn't say anything more and silently paid for the clothes. Afraid I would buy more, Aunt Mary quickly handed me $10 and told me to buy some daily necessities. I also wanted to distance myself from them, so I obediently took the money and left. Because we left early, it was just noon when we returned to Red Creek Village. Sally, hugging a pile of new clothes, was ecstatic, trying on one after another, eagerly awaiting the day of her reunion. I sat in the yard, organizing the things I had just bought. Suddenly, Ethan walked out of the house, holding a jade pendant in his hand. His expression was dark, and his eyes were ice cold as he looked at me. "Didn't you say you lost it?" The male lead is indeed thorough. To ensure the reunion goes smoothly, he turned the supporting female lead's room upside down to find it. The supporting female lead is useless. She couldn't even hide a jade pendant. Now the female lead has all the conditions to be recognized by her family. The supporting female lead can't stop it anymore. It's certain the plot won't change. The female lead will ultimately be the rich family's daughter. Seeing the jade pendant in his hand, I maintained a calm expression. "I found it by the river when I was doing laundry last time. Is something wrong?" At my counter question, Ethan stammered, speechless. Instead, Sally quickly stepped forward. "Anna, I really like this jade pendant. Can you give it to me as a going-away gift?" How ridiculous. The female lead clearly knows it's the token for the reunion. Just now, everyone said she was innocent, but now they're being slapped in the face. I coldly refused. No, Aunt Mary came out to intervene. "Anna, how about letting me keep this jade pendant? I bought a lot of meat today. Help me take it to Lower Village." Lower Village was Aunt Mary's maternal home, a half-day walk away. Every time I went there, I usually had to stay for a few days before returning. Not out of any close relationship, but because they also treated me like free labor washing, cutting grass for the pigs. I hesitated, "Aunt, it's getting dark." She immediately stuffed money into my hand. "Take the ox cart, it's faster." I grabbed the bag I had already prepared. As soon as I walked out the door, I clearly saw all three of them sigh in relief. I glanced at the comments. The supporting female lead was sent away, so no one can stop the female lead from being recognized now. The storyline is back on track. Next up is the female lead entering high society and starting her business empire. The supporting female lead is useless. A loser will always be a loser. Wait, the supporting female lead isn't heading toward Lower Village. She's heading toward the bus station. I carefully put the money away and took out the bus ticket I had bought this morning. Even if those three waited until their hair turned gray, the rich family wouldn't come. Early the next morning, Sally sat in front of the mirror, carefully applying makeup, eagerly anticipating the day. Starting today, she would no longer be a country girl, but a noble, pampered young lady in the city, enjoying endless wealth and glory. Ethan also felt happy for Sally. This Sally was beautiful and lively since childhood, not at all like a country girl. He was 100% certain that the rich family would definitely like Sally. This was beyond question. Suddenly, Anna's image flashed through his mind and his eyes dimmed. That girl was always slow and clumsy, always clinging to him and calling him Ethan. After Sally's reunion, he would marry Anna. He saw it as a way to compensate Anna. Even if Anna found out later, she wouldn't blame him. After all, Anna had always been very obedient to him since childhood. But they waited and waited for a very long time, yet the rich family never appeared. The sun had completely set. Sally was even stomping her feet in anxiety. "Ethan, did we remember the wrong day?" Ethan took out the letter and checked it carefully. It wasn't wrong, it was today. In the letter, the rich family even promised to give the Heiress family $10,000 as compensation after the reunion. The sun had completely disappeared. Sally even ran to the edge of the village to watch. No one appeared all day long. As night fell, she completely broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. "Ethan, did my parents abandon me again? They don't want me anymore." Ethan felt sorry for her and hugged her tightly. Finally, the two decided to go directly to Cloud City tomorrow to seek the reunion. I woke up in a soft, large bed. It was nearly noon. From the village, I took the ox cart to the bus station, caught the long-distance bus to the county, and made it onto the last train to Cloud City. When I arrived in the city, it was just twilight. Following the instructions in the letter, I found the rich family's house. I thought it would take a few more days for Ethan and the others to arrive, but as I pulled down the window curtain and looked, the scrolling text lit up. "They're here! They're here!" The male lead brought the female lead to be recognized by her family. The supporting female lead is about to be kicked out of the house. I didn't rush downstairs, but stayed on the second floor to observe. As soon as she saw Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, Sally knelt on the ground. Tears streamed down her face as she sobbed. "Father, Mother, your daughter hasn't been able to serve you for so many years. I'm truly an unfilial daughter." The Lawsons were stunned. Ethan quickly spoke up. "Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, this is Sally, your own flesh and blood." Aunt Mary immediately grabbed Mrs. Lawson's hand. "Madam, do you remember me? You trusted me and gave me the baby back then. For decades, I helped you raise her into a fine person." As soon as she finished speaking, Sally bowed her head to the ground. "Parents, our family is finally reunited." Immediately, the comments stirred up a frenzy. The female lead certainly knows how to win people over. She kneels and cries, and she knows how to appeal to their emotions. No wonder the rich couple isn't suspicious at all. Just imagining the supporting female lead sitting upstairs eating melon seeds and watching the show is awkward. Mrs. Lawson looked bewildered at the scene unfolding before her. "Are you saying this girl is our daughter?" All three of them nodded frantically, but Mrs. Lawson suddenly frowned. "But we've already found our daughter." From the winding staircase, I slowly walked down. The three people looked like they had swallowed something hard. Their faces were extremely unpleasant. Ethan was the first to regain his composure. "Anna Heiress, why are you here?" Immediately after, Sally burst into sobs, her eyes brimming with tears like a pear blossom in the rain, her voice choked with resentment. "Anna, did you lie to Mr. and Mrs. Lawson and impersonate my identity? How could you do such a thing?" I told you I could give you anything, but why do you want to steal my parents? How can you be so cruel?" Sally's words made Ethan's face turn darker. "Anna Heiress, how can you be so shameless?" He raised his hand to slap me, but his hand hadn't even touched my face before the butler blocked it. The butler coldly pushed his hand away, his voice calm but full of authority. "Show some respect. This is our young lady. If you dare lay a hand on her, I will immediately escort you out." Ethan's face turned green. He quickly turned to the Lawsons and shouted, "Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, you've been tricked. Anna Heiress is not your biological daughter. Sally is. This Anna Heiress has an evil heart and has always hated Sally. So she audaciously came here to impersonate her, deceiving you to steal her position." Aunt Mary immediately chimed in, her voice full of worry. "That's right, Mr. and Mrs. Lawson. Sally is truly your biological daughter. Anna Heiress is just a child born to a disreputable woman. After that woman died, I took pity on her and adopted her. Who knew she would be so greedy as to do such a terrible thing?" I looked at their hypocritical faces with a cold smile. I didn't expect the Heiress family to be such masters at twisting black into white. The Lawsons hesitated, their eyes turning toward me. I stood straight, calmly facing them, showing no sign of flinching. Just then, Ethan seemed to remember something and quickly took off the jade pendant from Sally's neck. He stepped forward toward the Lawsons, his voice full of indignation. "Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, if you still have doubts, look at this jade pendant. This is the token Mrs. Lawson gave to her daughter years ago. Sally has kept it with her all these years. She is your biological daughter." When the jade pendant appeared, the comments also showed clear schadenfreude. The male lead finally smartened up and showed the jade pendant as proof. Now the magnates will surely believe him. It's not the old days anymore. They can also do a DNA test or a blood test for recognition. The supporting female lead is so stupid, daring to come here to be recognized empty-handed. In the end, she loses everything. The plot definitely hasn't changed. The female lead is still the rich family's daughter. Mr. and Mrs. Lawson took the jade pendant and carefully examined it. Mrs. Lawson suddenly laughed. "This jade piece is a fake." All three members of the Heiress family immediately widened their eyes in disbelief. I stepped forward and slowly opened my palm. The jade pendant in my palm dropped, glittering under the light. "Because the real one is with me. Who said the supporting female lead was stupid? Let me slap them awake for 5 minutes." The day I went to town to buy clothes, after Aunt Mary sent me away, besides buying the bus ticket, I also bought a fake jade piece. When I returned, I deliberately placed the fake jade piece in the most visible spot. Sure enough, Ethan found it and immediately got angry and questioned me. At that moment, I was like a time bomb, just waiting for the moment to explode. To avoid disrupting their plan, they had to quickly find a way to get rid of me again. That was exactly what I wanted. If I stayed home passively waiting for the magnates to arrive, they would have 100 ways to prevent me from ever meeting my parents. Therefore, I had to take the initiative. "Anna Heiress, you are too despicable. Impersonating Sally wasn't enough. You dared to swap the jade pendants?" Ethan glared at me, his eyes burning with rage. Sally's eyes were filled with tears, looking utterly pitiful. "Anna, don't be stubborn. The truth will come out. You can't steal what belongs to me. Why do you always have to compete with me?" She knelt and crawled a few steps toward the Lawsons. "Parents, please look at me. I am Sally, your only treasure. Please don't let the wicked woman deceive you. Pity the female lead so much. She only wants her parents' love." In the story, the female lead treats the rich couple very filially. I think they should take her back. You two, stop it. Forcing people to take the female lead back sounds so shameless. Readers, don't be so harsh. What's wrong with wanting to reunite with your birth parents, regardless of status? Suddenly, Aunt Mary's eyes lit up and she quickly interjected, "Mrs. Lawson, do you remember? Your biological daughter has a cloud-shaped birthmark on her arm." As she spoke, she quickly pulled up Sally's sleeve. A pink birthmark, shaped exactly like a cloud, appeared on her fair arm. Seeing this, Mrs. Lawson's expression immediately changed. She tremblingly helped Sally up, her fingers gently stroking the birthmark. "Are you really my daughter?" Sally burst into tears, throwing herself into her arms, sobbing uncontrollably. At that moment, my face went pale. Ethan caught my expression and immediately rushed to pull up my sleeve. There was no birthmark on my arm, only an ugly, deformed burn scar. Mr. Lawson's face turned cold. "What is the meaning of this?" I softly replied. "When I was 7, Sally accidentally knocked over a pot of boiling water. Aunt Mary was sleeping right beside it. The boiling water was about to splash on her face. I didn't have time to think and immediately rushed over to shield my aunt." As I explained, Aunt Mary tightly gripped her clothes, lowering her eyes, not daring to look at me directly. Ethan loudly countered, "Don't falsely accuse Sally. You caused that yourself and brought it upon yourself?" He immediately turned to Mr. Lawson, raising his voice. "Mr. Lawson, everything is clear now. You must immediately send this brazen impostor away." Mrs. Lawson buried her face, tears streaming down. Mr. Lawson clenched his fists, his voice low like thunder. "Well done. Very well. I will make anyone who dares to bully my daughter pay a heavy price." Sally nestled into Mrs. Lawson's arms, trembling slightly, but her eyes flickered toward me with a look of triumph. Even so, I wasn't immediately kicked out of the Lawson house. At that moment, Cloud City Hospital had just received a batch of imported equipment capable of performing DNA testing. Hearing the phrase DNA test, Sally's face showed clear panic. Ethan quickly gave her a reassuring look. I, through the new comments, understood the reason. Remember this, everyone. Later, the female lead will also take a DNA test and the result will show that she is indeed the rich family's biological daughter. Honestly, what kind of male lead would he be if he didn't know a few doctors? The supporting female lead is so unlucky. She faces difficulty after difficulty just to be recognized by her parents, who told her she wasn't the female lead. All good things revolve around the female lead. The testing technology at the time wasn't completely perfected, requiring 3 days for the results. Therefore, Sally, Ethan, and Aunt Mary temporarily stayed at the Lawsons' house. I remained in the old room, while they stayed in the guest rooms. Seeing me stay in such a spacious room, Sally couldn't hide her jealousy. As she walked past me, her face scrunched up, and she whispered softly, "I am the rich family's biological daughter. Enjoy these few days. In 3 days, you'll have to pack up and go back to that shabby village and continue your miserable life." With that, she flashed a bright, sweet smile and said loudly, "Anna, no matter the results, in 3 days, we'll still be the best of sisters." Ethan's eyes were full of admiration for her, but when he looked at me, they were filled only with malice and hatred. He pulled me aside and whispered malicious words. "Anna Heiress, didn't I promise to marry you? What more do you want? Sally is the real noble daughter, and you're just a foundling. What right do you have to compare yourself to her? You'd better obediently return to Red Creek Village. Never set foot in Cloud City again. Otherwise, in 3 days, when everything is revealed, you won't have a good ending." I raised my hand and slapped him without hesitation. "You know what? I was only silent just now because I wanted to see how thick your face could be to utter such vile words." After the slap, I felt unusually refreshed and immediately slammed the door shut. Ethan grabbed his cheek, his eyes burning with hatred, as if he wanted to crush me into 100 pieces. During the 3-day wait, Sally had already appointed herself the eldest daughter of the Lawson family. She tried desperately to curry favor with Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, but the two were busy and did not appear at all during those 3 days. Despite this, Sally acted high and mighty in the house. Her breakfast had to have 20 dishes, but she would only sample a small bite of each. If she didn't like a type of flower in the garden, she would brazenly pull it out. In just 3 days, she broke countless vases and even shamelessly barged into Mrs. Lawson's room to rifle through her clothes and jewelry. The butler reminded her that these items were very valuable. She tossed her head back, her tone arrogant. "Who are you to lecture me? What business is it of yours if I break things in my own house?" Ethan still looked at her with doting eyes. "Sally, the way you discipline the servants is so beautiful. You truly are the irreplaceable noble daughter." The butler silently turned and walked away, perhaps too exasperated to say another word. On the day the test results were released, The Lawsons' living room was packed. Mr. and Mrs. Lawson, after reading the report, silently sat down on the sofa without saying a word. I took it and glanced over. Just as the comment said, there is no blood relation between me and Mr. Lawson. Sally was their biological daughter. Sally trembled, clutching the report tightly, her eyes welling up with tears. I am truly your daughter, mother, father. I'm no longer an orphan. I have parents now. Ethan supported her, his eyes filled with hatred, directed straight at me. Anna Heiress, everything is clear now. You are just a shameless liar, aspiring to steal Sally's identity, family love, and happiness. Aunt Mary quickly chimed in. Anna, hurry and kneel before Mr. and Mrs. Lawson and the Lawson family's eldest daughter and beg for their forgiveness. Then come back with your aunt to Red Creek Village. That's where you belong, in the countryside. You are just a low-born, illegitimate child. What is not yours will never be yours. She gripped my hand tightly, her nails digging into my skin. My face was icy. I resolutely shook off her hand and sneered, "Is that so? Are you finished talking?" The online comments were also in an uproar. It's over! The supporting female lead's role is finished. She'll be lonely in the countryside for the rest of her life. The female lead, after overcoming countless hardships, is finally reunited with her family, opening the path to becoming a powerful CEO. How pathetic. After causing such a big commotion, she still couldn't win back her identity. The female lead lives off the supporting female lead's misery. Does she even deserve to be the female lead? Disgusting. Seeing that I had no intention of admitting defeat, Ethan was about to say more, but Mrs. Lawson loudly interrupted. Enough. This drama needs to stop now. Everyone was astonished. Mr. Lawson took out a photo from his briefcase and held it out. Sally quickly snatched it and said in surprise, Is this Anna Heiress? Why is she dressed so elegantly?" Ethan hurriedly grabbed it. "It is Anna. When did she take this photo?" After seeing the photo, Aunt Mary's face changed, and she sat down on the floor in a panic. "No, it's not Anna. This is Mrs. Lawson." Mrs. Lawson stood up, her eyes shining brightly. "That's right, this is a picture of me. Did you really think we were so foolish that we wouldn't recognize our own daughter?" She walked toward me, her eyes filled with love. From the moment I first blocked their car, she had looked at me with those eyes. Before the reunion, I had imagined countless things to say. I thought of ways to prove I was their biological daughter. I thought of ways to make them trust me. I had carefully sewn the jade pendant into my bra, afraid of losing the token of my identity. But when I faced them, I just stood there silently, unable to utter a word. She ran to hug me tightly. Even now, I still clearly remembered the deep warmth of that embrace. Her hand trembled as she gently stroked my hair. Her voice choked with sobs. "You are my daughter, darling. You look exactly like I did when I was a child." Mr. Lawson angrily slammed his hand on the table. "Don't get upset. If it weren't for my daughter asking me to handle this subtly, I wouldn't have known you people were so heartless." Sally shook her head desperately. "It can't be. It absolutely can't be. I am the rich family's daughter. I am your biological daughter. Look, here's the DNA test results. I am clearly your daughter." Ethan clenched his fists, his face icy. "Anna Heiress, you dare to mock me?" I raised an eyebrow and smiled faintly. "Yes, I am mocking you." Watching the three of them flounder like clowns was quite entertaining. He tried to rush forward to hit me, but the butler held him firmly. "Sir, please calm down. There are still other matters to address." The butler presented several documents. It was a list of the items Sally had damaged over the past 3 days. The total amounted to $20,000. "If you do not compensate, we will have no choice but to report this to the police." Sally immediately lost control, grabbing Ethan and screaming, "Say something! Didn't you plan everything? Why did you fail? You promised I would learn piano, learn ballet. You said I was a noble lady. Why is everything ruined now?" She cried miserably and suddenly delivered a stunning slap across Ethan's face. "You useless failure! You couldn't even manage this one thing. Where are the female lead's fans? Come look at your precious female lead going crazy. Someone rush in and save her." Ethan held his cheek, dumbfounded. The image of the gentle female lead he adored had completely shattered. It turned out Sally knew everything. Aunt Mary knelt before me, crying and desperately pleading. "Anna, I was wrong, darling. Forgive Ethan and Sally. It was all my fault. Please think of the kindness I showed in raising you for all these years and forgive them." I coldly pushed her hand away, my expression unmoved. "Aunt, I never thought of myself as having a lowly fate. All these years, despite the hardship, I have always been self-reliant. On the contrary, you people trampled on the fate of others for your own personal gain. You are the truly despicable ones." They were forced to pay the compensation. The butler acted quickly. Before long, the police arrived at the Lawsons' house to file a report. Aunt Mary, terrified that her son would go to jail, gritted her teeth and decided to use all her savings meant for Ethan and Sally's college education. As soon as she saw the police, Sally panicked, crying and begging Ethan for help. He was too soft-hearted and desperately rushed around borrowing money, taking 3 days to gather the $20,000. They thought that paying the money would resolve everything. Who knew that the Lawsons immediately presented evidence showing that Ethan Heiress had fabricated the fake DNA report? Hearing about the potential prison sentence for this crime, Sally was so terrified that she lost control, immediately turning to deny any involvement. Ethan was escorted away by the police, and Aunt Mary cried in agony until she fainted. That was the last time I saw the scrolling text. The plot was completely broken. The male lead was sent to jail by the supporting female lead, and the female lead had to return to the countryside, losing her chance for education. Is this the ending? I only skimmed a few chapters, and the male lead is in jail, and the female lead is in this situation. What happened? It's over, it's truly over. It turns out the supporting female lead was the real noble daughter, shining brightly all by herself. Finally, the supporting female lead changed her fate. But then again, in real life, there is no female lead or supporting female lead. Whoever holds their own destiny in their hands is the protagonist of their own life. My parents told me that a few years ago, there were many changes in Cloud City, and our family faced many enemies, forcing them to send me to the countryside for temporary safety. For over 10 years, they didn't dare visit me for fear of being discovered by enemies. My mother, heartbroken that I had suffered so much, fainted several times from crying. I tightly held my parents' hands, feeling fortunate that everything was over. As for Sally, after returning to Red Creek Village, her life became extremely difficult. Aunt Mary hated her to the core. If it weren't for her, her son wouldn't be in jail. Without me around, all the heavy chores in the house fell onto Sally's shoulders. Aunt Mary thought she would be as easy to boss around as me, but who knew that after only a few days, Sally couldn't stand it, secretly stole valuable items from the house, and ran away. Before all this, to get the money Ethan had borrowed from loan sharks. When he went to prison, the creditors immediately came to Aunt Mary to demand repayment. Because of this, Aunt Mary had to live a life on the run, hiding everywhere, her life extremely difficult. It is said that Sally later went through many unhappy marriages, and her life was not very happy. 3 years later, I had completely transformed, working hard and successfully getting accepted into college. I quickly adapted to the bustling life in Cloud City and made many new friends. Unexpectedly, I later ran into Ethan Heiress by chance. He had a shaved head, his body was emaciated, and he no longer had any of his former charm. When he saw me, his eyes suddenly lit up, but then he self-consciously clutched at his shirt. "Anna, you are so beautiful now." As I prepared to leave, he quickly added, "Anna, could you ask your parents to adopt Sally? She's suffered so much over the years. If you agree, I'll marry you, okay?" The last half sentence was whispered so softly, betraying his extreme lack of confidence. Just then, a male classmate approached. He looked cheerful and glanced contemptuously at Ethan. "Dianna, is this your new security guard? He looks so rustic and out of place. Do you think he can even fight? He looks like a sick chicken." Ethan's face flushed red with anger, but when he looked up and realized he couldn't compare even a fraction to the classmate, he suddenly understood that he and I belonged to two different worlds. He lowered his head, filled with inferiority. I only smiled coldly. You have the wrong person. My name is Dianna Lawson. With that, I turned and walked into the university gate, heading toward a bright future all my own.